and welcome to the Chris Oldcorn Show. I'm Chris Oldcorn. Today I'm joined by Dr. Jennifer Liu of Algoma Public Health. But first, giving you some updates on the numbers and what's going on in Canada right now. Algoma Public Health came out this morning with their new numbers. We've now tested 977 people. Luckily, we still only have 10 positives, and we're waiting for 165 results to come back. Now, today we got some bad news about the Canadian economy, and this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Obviously, various sectors have been getting hit really hard with the stay-at-home orders that we now have going across Canada, not to mention, travel back and forth in other countries being restricted as well. So in March, our actual economy plunged 9% year over year. That's huge. And in all of March, we didn't have that stay-at-home order in place, so the April numbers will probably be much worse than the numbers we had in March. Now, Stats Canada has done the estimate for our what's known as the GDP, or Gross Domestic Product, and from January to March, it has dropped by 2.6%. Now, 2.6% might not sound like a large number to you, but it's the biggest quarterly drop since 1961. So that is actually huge. The last time it happened was 1961 that the economy contracted that much. Now, the numbers for April through to June will be much worse. Reason being is what we're seeing now is, for example, we have travel and tourism being hit, restaurants, accommodations, hotels, motels, and also retailing has been getting just whacked. For example, in the States, the TSA, that's the security people you go through at the airport, yesterday only screened 90,000 people across the entire U.S. That same Tuesday last year, they screened 2.2 million. That's a 96% drop in air travel. Donald Trump will be coming out with some sort of package for the airline industry. He did mention that, but I mean, that is a massive jump when 96% of your business has just disappeared. However, there are some parts of the economy that are actually going pretty well. Obviously, everything in the health sector is going good. Food distribution is still going as normal. As a matter of fact, it's even doing better because people are starting to hoard food and toilet paper and other consumer goods. And online retailing is jumping way up while in-person retailing has jumped down tremendously. So we are seeing the economy shift a little bit during this time period, but a lot of this, they expect will actually bump back when we come out of quarantine, self-isolations, and stay-at-home orders and so on. They do expect the economy to bounce back. Whether or not it'll bounce back to how it was before the pandemic started is yet to be seen. We, in March, the Canadian, when I say we, Canada, we lost 1 million jobs. That's a lot. That's one of the biggest losses ever that we've ever had. However, we don't have the numbers yet for how many jobs have been lost in April. And in April, we went to even stricter stay-at-home orders as well than we had in March. So that number is probably going to jump substantially. Now, the Bank of Canada was supposed to come out today with their quarterly monetary policy report, which also is supposed to give economic projections. Instead of giving us any projection at all, they said that they cannot, with any degree of confidence, give any sort of financial forecasting around COVID-19. So what we do know is that they are expecting our GDP from April to June to drop anywhere from 15 to 30%. To put this into perspective, from January to March, it dropped 2.6%, and that was the greatest drop since 1961. So the economy is going to take a massive hit over the next 3 months. Right now, our inflation rate is at 0, which is good. We could even see that inflation rate go down as well, but this is the first time in a long time it's been anywhere near 0. It was prior to the outbreak happening, it was over 2%. They've dropped the interest rate from almost 2%, 1.75. They dropped it down to 0.25% now over the last month. Now, I'll be back in just a moment with Dr. Jennifer Liu. Hold tight.